Well, we've hit a new era. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media. Quick video today. Not going to be too long, I hope. I was kind of sitting here thinking. I was talking with a friend, texting back and forth, and we were talking about college football, and I was kind of thinking about the realignment. This year, in 2023, is the beginning of a new era in college football. Now, it's not going to be a every year thing, but this year does start the conference realignment. How will these new teams fare? What new teams? Let's just focus on the Power 5 today. I don't want to get into the Group of 5 context because I'm going to be honest. I mostly just follow when it comes to the realignment stuff. I've really only noticed the Power 5. But if you guys want to talk in the comments about Group of 5 all you want to, that's fine too. BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, Houston joining the Big 12. Now, I did a live stream like last month, within the past 2 months or so. And all it was just the release of the schedules for the Big 12, for all the Big 12 teams. And of course, they added in, BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, Houston. And I wanted to talk about if they got it fair. I'm not here to talk about if they got it fair today or not. We know if they did. We know if they didn't. I mean, BYU has had killer teams in their program's history. They're not necessarily a national contender, but they can put some great players, especially like offensive linemen and on the back end and the defense. They can put some guys in the NFL. They've had good teams. Cincinnati. Well, it's a new year for them. They got a new head coach in Scott Satterfield, who was formerly at Louisville. I guess he did okay, but obviously not enough for Louisville standards, so they let him go. So you have the conference realignment. Next year, you're going to have Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC. This is their farewell. But for the Big 12, it's a welcoming party for BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston. Now, I don't know what to expect from these teams. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Just going to be open and honest. I haven't looked at these teams yet. We will try to get their previews in this offseason. But this is it, folks. Last year in 2022 was it. 2023, this year, this is it. It's a new era of college football, of conference realignment. Now, again, we're not going to have it every year, but at least for the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see some changes. You're going to see teams going from conference to conference. And I would hope that they don't whine and pitch a fit and say, oh, no, this was a mistake. You wanted to leave your conference for the SEC or for the Big 12. Or I think even like West Virginia's leaving for the ACC soon, aren't they? That was your choice. You made the decision. You got to live with it. Suck it up. Deal with it. You wanted to leave? Go on. Get out and go to your new team. Interesting opponents, too, for the Big 12. I think they have, like, the SEC schedules, but, like, the SEC's not having their realignment yet. So let's hold off on that. But it does start with the Big 12 this year. You have Texas and Oklahoma still in there. You know, Cincinnati, as far as Big 12 teams that they will most likely play, or are going to play, they are going to play Oklahoma. They are going to play BYU, Iowa State, Baylor, Oklahoma State. They will play UCF in Houston. They will play West Virginia. They will end with Kansas. Question is this. I just gave you an example of kind of what you could see for the schedule. I want to hear from you guys in the chat, in the comments. This is what I want to hear. Would it surprise you if any of the 4 new members made the Big 12 title game, or let alone came pretty close to it? How will they fare? How will they favor? Who is going to win the Big 12 this year? I like Texas, honestly. Thought they had a great season last year. They got to take steps forward this year. They got Alabama on the road. They got Baylor on the road. They got neutral site, obviously, with the Red River rivalry. They got to play at Iowa State and TCU. I like Texas this year, though. I just think that they could be better than everybody else in the Big 12. But I hold my tongue a little bit because, for all we know, what if Houston, who seems like a team going places, at least from what I hear from people, oh, Houston's going places, Houston this, Houston that. I don't know. What did they do last year? Because I haven't looked. Houston football, no way they were that good last year. I doubt that. Well, like, they open up with, like, UTSA and Rice. They should win those games. Should win those games. But, again, you know, this was a team that kind of struggled a little bit. They did okay. They went and won a bowl game 8-5. So they finished 7-5, and they won a bowl for 8 wins on the year. Houston's going places, it seems like. So coming off an 8-5 record, entering the Big 12, if these new teams take a step back, how bad will Houston do? They go 5-7, not hit 500. Do they go 500 and go 6-6? Do they repeat their record? Could they do that? They probably could. These are mystery teams, man. BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, Houston. We don't know what we're getting out of these teams this year. That's why we got to watch the Big 12. I've never gone into a season and said, you know what, I'm really excited for the Big 12 this year. Even though I will say this, the saying goes, you know, the Big 12 doesn't have defense. They play all offense. I always look forward to that. But at the same time, it's never really been the most intriguing conference to my memory. I've always been intrigued by the SEC, the Big 10. That was it. But now, with the realignment, would you guys agree, and again, talk to me in the comments, would you agree that maybe the Big 12 is the most intriguing conference in 2023? At least for the first few weeks of the season, we get a feel of what these new teams are going to do. We look at the national runner-up in TCU, losing Max Duggan, losing some key players on the offensive line, losing what they had last year to the draft. How do they bounce back after a blowout title loss to Georgia? There's some teams to watch in the Big 12 this year. There really are. I want to see how the new teams do. I want to see how TCU fares after Cinderella out of nowhere season last year. And then number 3. So number 1, how do the new teams do? How does the national runner-up do? And then how do the departing teams do? How do Texas and Oklahoma fare? This is their farewell. They got a pretty set schedule. I mean, outside of the Alabama game, I would say Texas probably could get it off easy. I mean, come on, home games with Kansas. Well, Kansas has given them fits. Kansas has bounced back in ways. BYU at home, Kansas State at home, Texas Tech at home, neutral site in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl with Oklahoma. They get a bye week on October 14th. What about Oklahoma? They should beat Arkansas State. They should probably beat SMU. SMU's not too bad, though. Give them credit. They get UCF at home. They get West Virginia at home. They get TCU to end the season at home. I don't know. I don't know, man. But this is the new college football conference realignment. It starts this year. I know we talked about it a couple months ago when the schedule was released. This is the new college football. This is the world we're living in, where teams are now hopping from conference to conference. Now, is it going to happen every year? No. But for the next couple years, with the Big 12's new additions, and then also the SEC fixing to pick up Texas and Oklahoma, this is going to be something to watch and keep an eye on. I'll go ahead and say this. I do like a team in Texas this year. It would not surprise me if they do make the Big 12 championship. I think they return a lot of key pieces. The non-conference schedule with Rice and Wyoming, they should win those 2 games. They probably drop Alabama. They could go to Tuscaloosa and win. I mean, Alabama's got some issues they got to figure out, but that's going to be a test. And but like Kansas, BYU, Kansas State, those home games. You talk about Texas Tech at the end of the year. They should be better than those teams. They probably are better than Oklahoma. So they probably win that game. That's another win. I just expect big things out of Texas this year. I don't know what it is. Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning for a quarterback battle. You bring back some offensive linemen. You use the portal. Pick up some key pieces. I'd have to go through and read it off, but I know they've picked up some good pieces in the portal. But yeah, Texas intrigues me about the Big 12 this year. This is their farewell. This is Oklahoma's farewell. How cool would it be? Man, it would be cool to see both of those teams in the Big 12 title. I doubt it. I could see TCU getting back, maybe, but not with a good record. But I expect Texas to probably be the best team out of the Big 12 this year. I think they have one of the more complete teams. I like what Sarkisian's doing. I think that they showed last year that they can compete on a serious level. I mean, their losses were not too bad. They were kind of close at times, and they were a couple plays away from possibly having, double-digit wins. I mean, maybe, but because what did they do last year? Let's see. Let's go back. Let's rewind, and we'll get out of here. But yeah, I mean, look, they were 8-5. So they were 2 games under having a 10-win season. They went 7. I guess they went like 8-4. Well, let me see. Did they beat Washington? I think they beat Washington. So I think they went 7-5. And beat Washington. Bottom line is this. Okay, I'm getting too much here and getting carried away. I think that Texas is on the rise. Now they're fixing to leave for the SEC. A team like that, okay, be honest. Between the two, Oklahoma and Texas, who would you lean more towards? I'm leaning more towards Sarkisian and Texas. Leaning more towards Quinn Ewers or whoever's at quarterback. Is it Arch Manning? And they did lose that Washington game. So they went 8-4 in the regular season, which is good. And if they're to get better this year, let's say, if they are to get better, well, 9, 10, 11 wins, it's all going to depend. They got a tough road ahead. They got Alabama. They got Baylor. They got Oklahoma. They got TCU. Those road games are going to be tough for Texas. But, again, point of this video, this is the new Big 12. Cincinnati, BYU, Houston, UCF. They're here. They're not going anywhere. This is the new college football. This is reality. We just got to suck it up and live with it. Whether you like it or not, it's here. Conference realignment starts this year. And it starts in the Big 12. I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Sorry this video is so long. But I hope you guys get the point I'm trying to make about conference realignment. We don't know what these teams are capable of. It's anybody's game in the Big 12 going into this year. I would say, even though me personally, I like a team like Texas. We'll see. I mean, it's up for grabs. What are they going to do? What will it look like? We're going to find out very, very soon. I love y'all. Jesus loves you. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love you guys. Peace.